Okay, Jim Tucker is popping in at the start of the next hour at Bilderberg 2010. This is really shaking up the global elite. Joining us is former military intelligence, one of the biggest private silver and gold broker, had the largest newsletter till he retired. He's come back with it in the last decade and been a staple of this transmission, Bob Chapman of the internationalforecaster.com. Now, in this hour with Bob Chapman, I want to hit on a bunch of other economic news, Korea news, Israel news with the flotilla, just a bunch of important info. But I wanted to, out of the gates, just remind listeners, especially those watching on prisonplanet.tv, go up to prisonplanet.tv, burn Endgame, Invisible Empire, my films onto disc, and give them to people. It's really good quality. It's not total DVD quality, but it plays on DVD players. And people are ready to see Endgame and learn about the world government and their master plan. They're ready to see Invisible Empire that covers, the latest world government information. So important. Yes, you know all about this, listeners. But the general public doesn't know about the 10th and 9th Amendment and state sovereignty and the difference between democracy and republic and how we're getting sheriffs elected and taking our country back and how all the incumbents are being thrown out in every election now in all these off-year elections and primaries. The globalists are in trouble. Get Don't Tread on Me, Endgame, Invisible Empire at Infowars.com. Order the hard copy DVD with the expanded extras. And it's great to give as a gift, the high-quality DVD in the best quality. Or just go in guerrilla warfare to prisonplanet.tv, 15 cents a day. Download it, burn it to disk, air it on Access TV. Get it out to everyone. Every person you reach is vital. Now, to illustrate this, I'm not going to have time to play it today, but in Paul Joseph Watson's, I've never put the entire speech up. I knew the speech was important that I did in front of Bilderberg. They sent out Richard C. Holbrooke, top globalist, even in Obama's administration. He was coming to speak to us, and I screamed at him and said, "Holbrooke, get over here!" And he said, forget it, at about 100 yards away, and we've got video, and turned and walked. I should have been nice, because he's this big ambassador. He was going to, I guess, come try to, come on, guys, stop bullhorning us. I mean, this would have been a rare first Bilderberg reaching out, but that was an example of me, not very diplomatic, like, just like... but the issue is we ran back to the hotel. The guys, and just 4 years ago, stuff was a lot less, techy. They quickly grabbed the video low res so we could, upload it to YouTube. And that's the old video that's all over the web, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views. The one Paul linked to only has a few thousand, that variant. I've got all the footage of the whole first half of my speech because of file size and speed. I've got thousands of hours of incredible footage of everything you can imagine I've never even aired. I need to, I don't have the money to hire somebody just to dump it all to prisonplanet.tv. That's the answer. I need to just somehow, because we're trying to raise the capital here to finish the studio and do all this, to just have an employee who just grabs raw video and interviews. I mean, I've got rooms full of DV cam tapes and just dump this treasure trove up there. But the point is, I want to get Bob Chapman's take on this because it dovetails with our discussion last week. Bilderberg 2010, the security lockdown begins. This is London Guardian. Give me a screenshot of this. Thank you. And in it, he's there the night before it shuts, and you can see top Bilderberg staff at the hotel wearing certain badges. And I've been there and been thrown out as well as they shut. And they're at dinner, and here's this reporter with his wife who came over from England to cover it, and he's hearing him go, "Oh, yes, Alex Jones, he's very frightening. 2006, they bullhorned us. They may try to attack us this time. Oh, many of the delegates didn't show up this time because they're scared. Oh, my Lord, it's so deadly." So that goes back to Brzezinski 3 weeks ago saying, for the first time the whole world's awake, the global government's in trouble. And some said, oh, he's playing possum. No, he's there being a realist saying, we are in trouble. He's one of the top strategists in the world for these people. I mean, he's there, world government extraordinaire. Brags he ran the Khmer Rouge operation, killing 30% of Cambodia. He brags that he got our government to fund that. This is a very wicked person, Obama's top foreign advisor on geopolitical strategies. And he said, we are in great danger. So they are not invincible. They are in trouble. And then he talked to Tucker, whose source said, yes, they're scared. This is the first time a bunch of delegates didn't show up. And then major German and Spanish papers at a press conference followed Bill Gates, who flew in, the eugenicist. This is up on prisonplanet.com. He had a whole fake medical conference as his cover. It wasn't real. So they caught up with him, and he admitted he was there for Bilderberg. So this is getting insane. I mean, they are scared. And Skelton said that Spanish police, because Catalonia has always been rebellious against tyranny, a lot of rebellions there, very beautiful area if you study the history, and the people are very independent, like Americans and others. Very rebellious folks, that police were coming across the line and joining the people. And I saw footage where protesters were shoving police, and the police were being nice and friendly and saying, please, you can read their lips, I'm with you, and the protesters would back off. And usually Spanish police would beat the daylights out of you. They're known for being vicious, more than many. They'll shoot you. But no, the police are even letting people attack them, basically. So, Bob Chapman, this is incredible, is it not?
It certainly is. And Catalonia is one of the great places of Spain. I also like down the coast at Marbella and Terrapolinas and Malaga. But, and I'm a big fan of Barcelona, the football team. And, but they couldn't have been stupider than to have that conference in Catalonia near Barcelona on the north and the coast. As you well know, Danny Eslin's over there, and Danny's a Spanish citizen. And I think that we're going to end up getting far more out of this meeting than we have ever gotten before, because he speaks the same language as the people who work there. And I am sure he has convinced a number of them to feed him information.
Well, he also just addressed a large portion of the parliament over there, Farage and others, and one of the Italian EU members got him in to address them. And so it's now in hundreds of newspapers and television Mario Borghesio. So this is huge.
That's right. It is huge. And people who didn't know, although most people don't realize that Europeans are very sophisticated politically, and they've known of this sort of thing and other things that are akin to it have been going on for many years. And they've had such problems in Europe with one war after another that they tend to stay apart from it and say, look, I just want to live, leave me alone. I don't want to get shot at. I don't want another war. And you got to understand where they're coming from. And they've had terrible times. I mean, the 1920s and 30s in Europe were dreadful. And it's no wonder people like Stalin and Mussolini and Hitler came to power. Of course, as we all know, they were financed from the UK and the US, etc. But they made a mistake. I think Danny's going to come up with piles of stuff.
Well, we know Tucker already is, but expanding in that, let's talk about your take on the fact that they are so scared, and for the first time ever, a bunch of attendees didn't show up, and they're literally the night before they shut it. The head organizers are like, Bilderberg minions are, oh, they're scary, Alex Jones. Oh, I mean, this mindset that we're like these dangerous devils.
Well, everything we do is literal. We do it over the radio, and, of course, we publish, and they can't stand the truth. And you and I have been talking about this for months on end. And especially telling was what you brought up again about Brzezinski and his commentary at the CFR meeting in Montreal. They're terrified because there's no way back for them. The question is, how can I get out of all this? There's only one way. They've got to have a major war. And it's coming. And it could have been that the incidents with North Korea and Israel could have been precursors to that. Now, we got another ship going in now. I think it's from Ireland. And are the Turkish warships going to escort this vessel, as we have heard?